Okay, I want to begin by saying thanks for purchasing one of my train or locomotive kits, and I'm gonna do both of them together because the train ornament is really the first part of the locomotive puzzle. So I'm gonna combine the two. Really the only difference between the train and the locomotive is stained black. So we're gonna go ahead and start with part A. It says right on the side there, and part 1. And let's back up just a little bit and you know, break your pieces out, and just a little twist and a pop, they'll break out. Clean the little pop out spot just with a fingernail or an X-Acto knife for best results, and then lay all your pieces out from 1 to 25, and right on the nose there is going to be part 26. So if you lay those out, get them in order, it'll probably be a little bit easier. Okay, 1 is a little bit of a booger because it wants to fall off all the time, but there's 1 and 2 goes right on there. They can go either way, but it's nice to have that number 1 showing out, and I'll show you why here in a little bit. Number 3, part number 3 looks like that, and that has the windows, and we're going to have those windows pointing towards the nose. We're going to call that where it's pointed on the end, that's on the nose. So we're going to put that on there and just start stacking them. Part number 4, whether the number shows or whether it gets buried back or forth. Number 5 can go on either way again. Just have to align it and stick it on there. And we're going to put 6, 7, so if yours is tight, you would want to sand this part A just a little bit. Just sand it ever so slightly, and it would slip in there. I have lots of the wood is always in different thicknesses. I try to sand it to where it's gonna work for everything, but I have had people tell me that their pieces are a little bit tight, and you sand that just a little bit and that'll fix it. So there's 20, 21, 22, and I'm pushing it all towards the back there. 23, 24, 25, and to put on some glue would not be a bad idea right now to hold that all together. I am not going to glue that just because it might take me a couple tries to get this video right, and so I'm not going to glue it. If you want to put some little drop of glue behind that nose piece, you'd have it. And a little fun fact, the hinges on that are going to be on the left side of the train as it's rolling down the tracks, okay? Alright, so we got that. Let's go to part B. Okay, I don't know if that's easier to see with like that. And it is going to slip in these notches towards the back. And it's just a matter of a line and a little push. And there we have it. Okay, it also goes through part number 3 and locks everything together. So I don't know if you can see that, but it's going to come all the way up in there. Okay, part C's. We got a left and a right, and we're going to try to get this to where you can see it a little better. We're going to align and just press it up. Same thing on the other side. And here again, it's just an alignment deal, so you don't want to push it too much, but just make sure it's all aligned and goes together. Okay, part D is going to hold everything together as far as part C, and through the hole of part B, so you got to align and making sure part C are in place, and once it's all in place, it should come together. Okay, and it clicks in, and there you have it. Okay, part D comes all the way down through part C, and then we're going to stick, what is this, part F is going to, no, we're not going to do part F yet. What are these? Part E. Part E are our wheels, and you'll see there's a couple notches up in the front section and a notch in this rear section that are going to go inside of our undercarriage parts. So if you can see how that goes in, and a little press, and there it is. Okay, that's just a friction holding that in for right now. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side, making sure that our wheels are showing on the outside. Okay, so we want to make sure this is all aligned and in place on that end. I should say the front end, as well as the towards the rear of the train. And that should do it. Okay, so towards the back of the train, those part E's have got to be laying down on part C. So if it's not, we've got to give it a little wiggle one way or another. I had to push it forward and press it down for it to fit in there. Once that's all the way down, now we're going to go to part F, and it's going to slip in and hold everything together there. Hopefully you can see that. But that grabbed part C and part E. Holds that whole back side together. Okay. What do we call these pieces here? I think we're going to call those part H in your locomotive instructions. So, towards the back end of our part H, there's a little notch back there, and that notch is going to go right in front of the two receiving notches over here. So we're going to set it to the front of it. It should align with the front parts of part E. Hopefully you can see that. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And You could be putting glue on all of this if you're wanting to assemble it for permanent construction. Okay, so we got parts F on there. Let's go ahead and go with parts I, J, and K. And the largest of them is going to go on the bottom. And I can tell you those have got to be together. Parts F have got to be together to hold that all together. Parts J, there's a little notch or a little hole, receiving hole there in the that little tab has got to go in there. Okay, and same thing with part I. If it is tight, remember you're going to just sand a little bit off of the thickness of this piece to make it fit in there easier. So, and if it's not going in just right, maybe something down here isn't aligned. So pushing from the bottom up a little bit, and that part there, and you gotta remember these are little pieces, laser alignment. So you press too hard and you're gonna break these pieces. So it's really a matter of aligning everything to get it to go in to fit. Okay, so not too much force. Okay, we're getting real close to having a finish on our train ornament, and then we're going to grab the 3 of the top here, and there's the top piece, which is a little bit smaller than the other 2, and the holes are in the center of the piece, and that'll go in the middle. The 2 outside ones, the holes are a little bit off center, and if you don't put it on right, it's not gonna fit. So there's that one, and there's that one. Now it looks to me like we're missing part X from our kit, and those are the mirrors that just don't happen to, didn't get popped out, or if they did, they got lost between here and here in the shop. So anyhow, that is our train ornament and how that goes together. And I'm going to just set that to the side for a second here and show you how the coal car gets put together. Because the train or the locomotive has a ball for a hitch, the half circle is going to be our front, and so taking pieces L, M, N, and O, we're going to make a box, and the 49 is going to go towards the back, and how'd that happen? We got 2 of the same pieces here. We're going to put that in there, and slip that on the front. We can put the top on, And here again, that will only go in one way. Okay. What are they calling this piece? Part P. Okay, there's 4 of them. I've got them aligned, and they're going to go in that hole. Might put a drop of glue on there before you put that in. Once you have all that assembled, now we can just set that right in place. Over. I think that's part L. Okay. These little boxes will go towards the back. And they just get pressed in. Same thing with the other side. Get pressed in those holes. And there we have it. Alright. Little shout out for the folks in Skagway. But again, I thank you for purchasing one of my kits, and look for more on my Facebook page, the Great Alaska Wood Kits. Enjoy!